Hello everyone. Welcome to today's session. So I'm Shivam. I'm the CEO and co-founder of AlmaBetter, and I welcome you all to today's Ask Me Anything session. So this is part of our Learn, Earn, Return program that we offer to our selected students. So in this session, uh, we are being attended by hundreds of participants who have joined in from our website and other live streaming portals. So every week we organize this guest lecture wherein we invite a guest speaker to talk about how data science is being used in their industry. And these sessions in particular are very insightful for our students who are looking to jump into this field of data science. So let's begin the Ask Me Anything session by introducing our guest for today. So please welcome Shantanu Sharma, who is a senior data scientist at PayU. So PayU is a fintech company headquartered in Netherlands and provides payment technology to online merchants. Shantanu is also an alumnus of IIT Delhi. So hi Shantanu, welcome to
Hey,
the session.
hi Shivam.
So it's a pleasure to have you here today. Thank you for taking out your time. So please tell us about your current role at LinkedIn at PayU and the problems that you're currently working on.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Shivam, and the whole AlmaBetter team for inviting me here. This is really exciting to talk here in front of the audience, which is really looking out to start their journey in the field of data science. I'm currently working as a senior data scientist in PayU, and the role of our team is provide data intelligence. So we at PayU are trying to build something that we have as credit bureau in our country, which provide customers repayment information about the loans that they have taken in the past, or the credit cards, or any form of credit that they have taken. So at PayU, we are trying to set up something similar, and in order to service our clients on the same, we are taking information from the transactions that we capture via our payment gateway. So just to give you a brief, like payment gateway is something which enables merchants to host their transactions and get them systematic, so that the the transaction or the payments part is uh, is not a headache for the merchant. So we manage most of the big merchants in the e-commerce and food delivery and can say travel and hospitality. So we have a lot of data. We have data for around 250 million plus customers, and we are leveraging that data to service our clients so that they can service their customers better. So we are both a product company in that sense, and we are also servicing our clients.
Got it. So I guess it's a very huge database that you're dealing with, right? A lot of transactions going on every day, each second, right? So
Right.
uh,
We are currently getting around 3 to 4 million transactions every day. So yeah, really
that's
big.
that's huge. So apart from the volume of data, right? So what are the business metrics or the business problems that you look into? Can you just
Sure.
explain some of the business problems that you're tackling through data science technologies?
Right. So I'll give you one very practical example. So when the corona started, a lot of people moved towards uh, using gaming portals, like there is Rummy Circle, there is Ata 52,
Mhm.
a lot of such things to pass their time, kill time. So
Correct.
one of the clients which was taking the marketing initiatives or taking the acquisition initiatives for such merchants like Rummy Circle, Ata 52, they came to PayU and they wanted to understand that what are the customers that they can target uh, to market, so that there is a high level of successful conversion amongst those customers. I mean, so suppose I'm that company and I want to target only such customers which have a higher propensity or higher affinity to use such apps or to transact money on such apps. So they came up with that. They wanted to understand the persona of the customers, of their customers, like how these customers are behaving online, what kind of apps do they use, what kind of transactions do they use. So that is one of the problem, one of the example of the problem that we solve at PayU,
Mm,
that we help our clients understand their customers better
mm,
in terms of their transactional habits.
right.
One of the other use case that I can tell you is related to the fintech industry,
Mm,
where a lot of people are struggling, especially in India, to understand the credit worthiness or the credit risk of the customers. They want to know whether to give a loan to the customer or not, and if they are giving the loan, how much limits or how much lines that they can provide to the customers.
right.
So that is somewhere as well we are helping our clients via some of the models that we have created here using the PayU data.
Mm-hmm.
And internally as well, we are helping one of the what you can say sister company of PayU, which is PayU Finance,
Got
where we have credit products, and PayU transactional data is mainly used to underwrite those customers.
got it. Got it. I think thinking back, I think PayU is in a very good position to actually crack the consumer pattern, right? So uh, the consumption habits
Right.
customers, right? So they can segment customers in a very nice way, right? So that and this information in itself very powerful, is of much value to the to your clients as well, right? So
Right, right. I
yeah.
mean, especially to the fintech or even the banking segment, I would say,
Mhm.
because I mean, some of the people here might not have used credit card in the past, or might not have had any loans in the past,
Mhm.
and in those scenarios, it becomes very difficult for a bank to provide you a credit card or to provide you
Right.
any financial services. So we at PayU are helping out banks and fintech organizations to service those customers, to help those customers understand better. Because uh, someone who has just passed out of college, or is in the final year of college, or has only worked for 1 year, so they are very digitally savvy. They are doing a lot of transactions online. They are ordering food online, they are using Ola to book their cabs, they are buying movie tickets, they are traveling a lot. But banks have no visibility on that kind of data.
Mhm.
So we are also helping banks to understand those customers and to underwrite them better.
Right, right. So in India, particularly, financial awareness is pretty new, right? So 92% of people who have credit cards are the first members in their family to have credit-based, are operating on credit-based systems, right? So it's very difficult to have a credit history uh, of in detail of these kind of customers, right? So if you can somehow crack the consumption patterns through your transactions, you are in a very nice place to actually uh,
Right,
provide information to your PayU Finance or in underwriting, right? So
right.
that's great. That's great to know. So prior to PayU, you have worked at Cabbage as well, right? So as an analyst. So for our viewers, Cabbage is an online fintech company based in Georgia. So the company provides funding to small businesses and consumers through a automated lending platform, right? So Shantanu, what kind of problems are being solved using data science at Cabbage?
Yeah. About Cabbage, I mean, it's really been a revolution in USA.
Mhm.
Uh, uh, I mean, they have done something that we are like I think at least 5 to 10 years far away from.
Mm.
They have automated the complete underwriting process, and where from the point of applying for a loan to the point of getting the loan amount in your bank account, it takes only 5 to 7 minutes. So that is some of the biggest achievement. Even in the US, there are not many fintech players, especially for small and medium merchants who are providing uh, uh, such level of conversions and such level of customer satisfaction in terms of servicing them at such a speed. So in Cabbage or in any fintech organization, let me give you some brief about how data science is used in
Sure.
fintechs or banks.
Sure.
So there are two uh, basic level of models that uh, any financial organization would have. One would be the acquisition model that they would have, which they would use to underwrite new customers and to understand uh, whether they want to service a loan or whether they want to disperse to that customer or not.
Mm.
What would be the credit risk of that customer? So that is the first product. Second is a behavioral model that these organizations have, which comes into play after a customer has spent a couple of months or 3 months or 6 months, depending upon the organization.
Mm.
Uh, After they have spent that amount of time in the organization's books. So there they try to understand the behavior of the customer, both in terms of the external data that they get from bureaus or from application data or from any third party providers. And also in those few months, they themselves get to see the behavior of the customer. What are the payment behavior? What is the mode of payment that a customer uses? Uh, how much is the amount or the utilization that a customer does on their product?
Mm.
So those are some of the things. And let me give you an example that whoever uses credit card, so after every uh, 3 to 6 months, you get a message that your limit has increased
Mm.
or your limit has decreased. That is nothing but that behavioral model working on your data,
Right.
that they are trying to understand, okay, at this point of time, now we are 3 to 6 months away from your acquisition, and they try to understand
Mm.
uh, whether uh, they want to increase your lines, decrease your lines, or you are at the same level
Mm.
at which they expected you to be. So it's kind of correction that they do. So these are the two basic models that
Mm.
they have.
Mm.
And I mean, especially at Cabbage, uh, uh, these are machine learning models, which is which was new at that point to Cabbage, because most of the regulations in US don't allow a lot of machine learning models to be implemented. The banking industry is very adamant about that the models that they are implementing to underwrite customers shall be approved uh, by the federal bank or by the financial institution, by the government financial institutions of the country. And that is true for India as well. But in India, the regulations are not as strict, but in US, they are really strict.
Right. Right.
And yeah, just to add, like, what are the problems that they're solving at Cabbage? So understanding small and mid-range merchant is very difficult in India. There are a lot of players who are trying to do that. There is one company, especially in India, called Lending Card. They are trying to do that. It's really difficult. In Cabbage, they have made it so easy for those people to take a loan, to get revolving lines, and they're also helping their merchants or their partners to understand their cash flows as well. And using data science, they're helping them manage their cash flows better,
Mm.
uh, having the money stored for peak seasons, and for example, getting investing um, in the machinery or some of the other things in the off season, as compared to the top of peak of the season. So they are advising customers basis their persona or behavior in the past, basis their industry that they are in, basis the area that they live in.
Mhm.
So yeah, that is the way they are helping businesses grow. And it has been actually recently acquired by Amex.
Okay.
Now it's yeah, it's part of the Amex
Great. Great.
group.
So I think we hear a lot of terms, right? So get a loan in 3 minutes, get a loan in 2 minutes, but uh, uh, inside a lot of underwriting goes on, right? So uh, it's a very challenging task to actually underwrite in a few minutes, right? So
Right.
a lot of data coming in, and if you are not employing machine learning models well, it's very tough to get that kind of underwriting because it has a huge cost, right? So if you give loan to a non-worthy person, will
Yeah.
end up defaulting that, right? So uh,
Also frauds
right.
is one of the biggest concern,
Yeah. Yep.
especially in geography like India,
Mm.
where people are working day and night to find ways to trick or game the system.
Right.
So fraud becomes very
Definitely.
challenge a big challenge if you are doing automated or uh, underwriting basis machine learning models, because
Right.
the fraudsters keep on changing their models operandi,
Mm.
and you have to keep on building on top of that.
Right. Right. So for our viewers, many of you might not be familiar with this term underwriting. So it's nothing but a process wherein we decide whom do we give a loan and whom do we not give a not sanction the loan. So that's it. That's just a fancy term. Okay, so you transitioned from data analyst to a data scientist. So do you think analyst positions are easier to get into, and thus it's an easier path to choose if you are looking to switch to data science roles? So you have yourself transition from analyst to a data scientist. So how does that work out? Like what is the mechanism, and is that a good way, right? So we see that a lot of data science openings right now demand some sort of experience. So how do freshers get into that, right? So if let's say I say that freshers can get into analyst based roles, is that a good enough path, and then maybe 1 year later they can switch to data science when they have that experience with data?
Yeah, I mean, this is a really interesting question, and this is something. Um, well, I mean, this is something that confuses every fresher. That whether is it easier to go and being data analyst first, and later down the line switch and become a data scientist. So for me, it was a sheer luck
Mm-hmm.
that I joined Cabbage after my as a fresher only,
Mm-hmm.
after completing my graduation. So there, at that point, I had no idea what data analysis or what being a data scientist was. So
Mm-hmm.
I was assigned. I was being assigned as a as a data analyst, and I was working in the underwriting teams
Mm-hmm.
at Cabbage. It was going pretty well, but then I decided to change my company, and I came to PayU, and they were only looking for data scientists.
Mm-hmm.
So I applied. I gave the interview. An interview, they asked me whether what is the modeling experience that you have. I said I have no experience, but I know. I have read the theory. I know everything, but I haven't done the modeling. And they somehow believed that,
Mm-hmm.
and they took me in, and it has been really a great experience since that. But to answer your question, uh, whether it's easier or whether it makes sense, it's just that I believe data analysis is one of the preliminary step of becoming a data scientist.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally believe that in order to be a good or in order to be a better data scientist, you need to be a great data analyst. You need to be good at analytics. You need to be good uh, uh, at what the part that we call feature engineering, or creating personas or creating modus operandis.
Mm-hmm.
That is something that you should be great at, and that only comes when you are deep uh, in the data,
Correct.
and that is something that only a data analyst can get. It depends. I mean, if you join an organization like Amex
Mm,
and you join there as a data analyst, you will
mm,
be typecasted. You won't be able to get out of it, and
mm,
it's very hard for you to jump into data scientist in that organization.
correct.
But if you're working in startups
Mm,
where you are building products from the scratch,
mhm,
uh, and being just a data analyst gives you a lot of exposure to data, gives you a lot of understanding about the data.
correct.
And I believe at the end of the day, a data scientist also needs to understand what is the
Mm,
power of the data, how to use that data.
right.
uh, because modeling or the algorithms
Mm,
is just one part of it, but I believe data analysis is just another part. So I would suggest
mm,
that uh, if it it clearly depends on the organization that you are trying to join.
mhm,
Some give you flexibility, some really don't give you flexibility
mhm,
uh, to change your fields.
mhm,
And even down the line, it sometimes happens that you might be typecasted that, okay, you have worked as a data analyst, why should I hire you for a data science position? You
mhm,
don't have any uh, you don't have any experience
mhm,
working in those scenarios.
right.
So it's really a decision that you have to make at that point.
Mhm.
But I personally believe data analysis should come before data science.
Correct, correct, right. I totally agree. As to with the advent of all these Python libraries, right? So you don't have to write algorithms from scratch. You just have to know the understanding behind the algorithms, and coding wise, hands-on experience wise, you don't need such experience with algorithms and modeling part. No, if you have more experience in wrangling data and working with the real world data and seeing as to what makes sense, what not, that's a much bigger hands-on experience. If you talk in that terms, right? So uh, I think, yeah, data analysis or analyst is a very good way to jump in
Yeah,
if you're a fresher and get an understanding of how data works first, right?
yeah,
And then if you have that theoretical knowledge, you can apply it in your org itself. So right, so no one is stopping you. If if you have to come up with some insights, you come up with machine learning driven insights, right?
right,
So no one
right.
is stopping you from doing that. So
Absolutely.
all, yeah, it all depends on how you say it, right? So um, for freshers, I guess, let's say trying for waiting and learning machine learning for 2 3 years, and then trying for to get into data scientist roles and being rigid about that is kind of does not make sense to me. So whatever
Yeah,
role you get within data, just try to join it, and then probably you can switch on to different roles. And yeah, so the companies, what the companies want, right? So they want someone who has exposure to real world data. They want someone who has some theoretical understanding of the algorithms, and that is enough for you to be part of the data science team,
yeah,
right? So
yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Definitely. I mean, you are spot on the part that you should not be waiting
Mhm.
for a data scientist opportunity to come. I mean, you should start even with a data analyst opportunity if you have. I mean, because playing with data is the best feeling, and it will help you a lot
Correct.
down the years.
Correct. Correct. So our curriculum is also, designed in such a way that at the end of the program, our students, can become a data scientist or analyst, a data analyst, business analyst, machine learning engineer. You say it, you name it, you can, become, because our curriculum is built in such a way that we are covering each and everything from deep learning to, data analyst, Excel, Tableau, all those, the spectrum of data, right? So from machine learning engineering, right? So
Right.
we are covering the entire thing in a sequential manner. So we start with, how can we wrangle data, and after the first module, you are eligible to apply for data analyst roles, right? So it's designed in such a way. So then you go on to understand mathematics, and then you understand machine learning algorithms. Then at the later point, you
Definitely.
learn ML ops and deep learning, right? So what is your take on the breadth of the curriculum here at AlmaBetter?
Really exciting, really great. I went through the curriculum, as you mentioned that It enables, it prepares you to take any role that you are interested in, right from learning how to use Power BI to deep learning. I mean, these I would say the two are the two extremes, because I think Power BI is more towards being a business analyst or
Mhm.
someone who is reading reports day in and day night, creating reports, and someone who is using deep learning is deep in the data science,
Correct. Yes.
uh, using image data, text data to
Mhm.
uh, work on the to work on the models and all. So I mean, yeah, it takes into view the needs of uh, all kinds of learners, and also enables them to choose as per their need or as per their interest.
Correct.
And that is something that is missing from a lot of courses that are available online, because they only cover one aspect of it. They
Mhm.
either cover only the data science part or the machine learning part, I would say,
Mhm.
or they covered only the data analysis part,
Mhm.
or uh, the deep learning part. So
Correct.
curriculum is really
Definitely.
great and exciting. Yeah.
So that is what we thought while designing the curriculum, right? So in India, data science word is, not crisply defined, right? So
Right.
some people say, I want a data scientist, but they then take students interviews based on Excel. So this is the kind of thing that is happening in India. People don't have much knowledge in and around these terminologies. So we thought of creating a curriculum wherein we'll cover everything that we have in and around this role. Right? A lot of competencies in each of these roles are common across all of these. Right?
Right.
So for data science, you have to be a data analyst first. Right? So
Right.
a lot of these are overlapping in some sense. So we tried to cover all of them and designed in such a way that it's phased out well in the curriculum, right? So I
Yeah.
think that was the idea. So anyone from the audience has any questions can put them down, can take them here.
We have a couple of questions, I believe.
Yep. So Devashi says that there are some people between fraud and who pay on time. So those who miss the payment by few days and thus pay the penalty. So the penalty is huge as compared to the interest. So can these customers be mined based on the payment habits and thus the company bank or reach them out? Uh,
Yeah, definitely. This is one of the things that banks look at, and what they call it is as petty default. That
mhm,
if you are missing your payments by just few rupees, like 100, 200 rupees, it's not just a default.
mhm,
Uh, uh, in scenarios where you're using 20 or 30K per month on your credit card,
mhm,
and also if you're missing it by a few days, they sometimes tend to ignore it, that
mhm,
it might be because of some issues related to your payments, some issues related to the banking network or something. So a few days uh, bonus, or what would you say, extra time is given to customers to pay them back, and that doesn't really go into the delinquency of the customers.
mhm,
Based on the payment habits, this is certainly that can be mined. I mean, this is something related to a person being lazy, because
mhm, mhm,
this comes from being lazy. If you are paying your money back after 4 or 5 days, uh, either it's lazy or it's something of a cash flow problem. That okay, uh, suppose for a small or medium merchant, their cash flows are come at a very specific point of times in a month, that okay, uh, their sellings are more at the time of weekends, or their sellings are more in a particular season. So in those scenarios as well, banks take care of the seasonality patterns, and organizations like PayU or some of the other third-party organizations definitely help them to understand the seasonality of a particular industry or the cash flow patterns of a particular customer. So I think in those terms, the banking payment industries have evolved a lot.
right, right. So I think that answers your question, Devashish. So Raj says that so he has a question with the imbalance in data, which is inherent to finance, right? So we have, if you are predicting fraudulent customers, you have less fraudulent cases and more, valid cases, right? So how do you deal with imbalance in data in the industry right now in
Okay.
credit, right?
Yeah. Uh,
So we, try to teach our students how to, deal with imbalance. They are curious to know whether, you are oversampling the minority class or.
right. There are a lot of ways to deal with that data. One of the thing that organizations, I mean, especially banking organizations use is moat. I think you all must be aware with that.
Yeah.
Uh, but we have seen, and the number of models that I have built for financial or banking related
Mhm.
products, we really don't use moat.
Okay,
Uh, we are able to deal with um, even event rates as low as 1%
got
or
it.
as low as 0.1%. It all depends upon what is the absolute number that 0.1% or 1% represents.
Yes.
Because I'm happy
Mhm.
with a 0.1% event rate, and even if I have 10,000 customers or rows that represent those 0.1,
Correct,
because in that case I will be able to build a good enough model.
correct, correct.
But even if I have high event rate and lower absolute numbers, I
Mhm.
really won't be comfortable building that model
Correct, correct.
in any scenario.
Yes, yes, definitely. So I think the volume of those, events matter more
Right,
than the percentage, right? So
right.
PayU having a lot of transactions, I guess it would be easier for you to, come up with models even with that low event rate.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, that was interesting. So, uh, any last message for our LR students who are just looking into jump into the field of data science, and many other students who have joined in today? So,
Yeah. The only message that I would like to give is that keep working hard on the modules, on the theory, especially develop problem solving skills. I mean, problems that you find here, problems you find online, anywhere, go there, try to solve try to solve them, try to find different kind of solutions to those problems, because at the end of the day, for any data scientist or data analyst, what matters is that how good is you are at solving those problems. It's not
yeah,
about how many algorithms you know, it's not about how many data analysis techniques you know, it's about how good you are at understanding that problem and finally getting a solution out of that. So that is something work on. uh, get good at Python. I think nowadays, I think everyone is using Python. I mean, when I started, people were kind of divided between Python and R. Some were still heavy R users at that point of time, but I think that is something that has changed over the years.
right.
Uh, I think those are the two things.
Definitely, definitely. Totally agreed that no, you need to be problem solvers first. So I want to quote Chinmaya. So after the first module here at AlmaBetter, right? So they just did the capstone project, right? So it's a week-long capstone project that we have here. So Chinmaya said that okay, so after the capstone project got over, all the presentations and submissions got over. So he said that for the first time in the entire module, I felt like I'm a problem solver and
Right,
not just a coder or an engineer.
right,
So we are proud that we are able to create digital problem solvers for the next generation, right? So
definitely,
that is the need of tomorrow, right? So
exactly.
okay, thank you, Shantanu. It was a fun conversation, having you
Yeah,
here. Uh, Thank you for taking out your time, and yeah, all the best for your career as well.
yeah. All the best for you as well. This is really great thing, exciting thing, and thanks a lot for inviting me.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye.